4 days now, the world has acted like this clip was evidence of something bigger, something hidden, something no one can quite articulate, but everyone insists they can feel. And every time fans attempt to move on, the algorithm pulls them back into the same 30-second loop, whispering that there must be more to this moment than meets the Is it possible that the reason this clip went viral has nothing to do with the moment itself, but everything to do with who Jungkook and Eun-woo are and what they represent. Jungkook, the global golden boy of a generation, carries a myth around him, the myth of being the untouchable all-rounder, the superstar idol who seems almost carved out of fate itself. Eun-woo, meanwhile, has long been portrayed as the face genius, but beneath his unshakable visual reputation lies an identity fans fiercely protect. The gentle heart, the quiet strength, the boy who rarely lets the world see too much. Put these two narratives together in a single frame, and suddenly the moment becomes more than a moment. It becomes a collision of myths, a collision of emotional investments, a collision of identities that millions have built over years. When Jungkook laughed, was he simply reacting to a joke? Or did fans see something unspoken in that expression? When Eun-woo leaned closer, was it a natural movement, or did it immediately spark theories about a deeper bond? And why did fans begin arguing within minutes, as if the moment threatened something sacred? Perhaps the truth lies not in the idols, but in the fear fans rarely admit. The fear of losing their version of their idol. One army tweeted, "He looks too comfortable. Why does he look like that around Eun-woo? He's never like this with others." A Fantaejo fan replied, "Eun-woo is always like this. Stop acting like your idol is the only one allowed to smile." And with that, the line was drawn. But the deeper question lingers. Why did these fandoms react as if Jungkook and Eun-woo's friendship was a threat? Is the fandom ecosystem truly so fragile that a single interaction can shake the emotional foundation people have built around their idols? Or is this moment exposing something uncomfortable about the evolving relationship between fans and celebrities? In today's hyper-connected world, every idol interaction becomes content. Every glance becomes analysis. Every smile becomes a thesis, waiting to be unpacked by millions. What used to be private, friendly gestures, quiet conversations, shared jokes, now becomes part of a public narrative that grows more uncontrollable by the hour. And in this case, that narrative has spiraled so far out of orbit that even seasoned media analysts are calling it one of the most fascinating fandom eruptions of the decade. But what makes it so fascinating? Perhaps it's the contrast. Jungkook and Eun-woo didn't meet on a loud stage. They didn't share a dramatic moment at an award show. They didn't post a planned collaboration teaser. They were simply being human, working, laughing, interacting naturally in a setting where cameras weren't supposed to rewrite the story. They weren't performing. They weren't posing. They weren't acting like global icons. They were just two young men enjoying a moment of camaraderie in a recording studio. And maybe that's the exact reason the fandoms reacted so intensely, because it was real, not curated, not filtered, not scripted. A raw moment like that can feel intimate to fans who have loved their idols for years. And when two different fandoms believe they own the emotional rights to their idol's innocence, purity, and comfort, a moment of shared intimacy between idols, no matter how harmless, can feel like a loss of territory, which leads to the next question the world is now wrestling with. Did fans react out of love or out of insecurity? Many ARMY believe Jungkook's sweetness is something sacred, a part of him that must be protected from misinterpretation. Many Fantaejo fans feel that Eun-woo is treated unfairly by outsiders who judge him solely by his looks without recognizing his sincerity. When these emotional defenses collided under the pressure of a viral clip, the result was a digital earthquake. Even more surprising is how many fans from other fandoms have joined the spectacle, not to take sides, but to observe a phenomenon they can't look away from. Some call it heartwarming, some call it ridiculous, some call it predictable, others call it a wake-up call. Yet the clip continues to spread, continues to spark conversations, continues to stir emotions long after most viral moments fade. Why? Because deep down, every fan senses that this situation is far from over. In fact, Something about it feels like the beginning of a larger story, one that could redefine how fandoms interact with each other, how idols navigate public scrutiny, and how fragile or strong the bond between fans and artists truly is. Tonight, under the glow of smartphone screens and the rush of global speculation, another question rises, one even more unsettling than the previous ones. If a cute, innocent moment can start a war, could a bigger, more meaningful moment end it? And what if that moment is already on the way? What if Jungkook and Eun-woo are aware of the storm but choose to respond in a way no one expects? What if the real twist isn't the war, but the peace that could follow? As the sun rose over Seoul the morning after the clip exploded, something strange, almost eerie, began to unfold. Newsrooms across Asia, Europe, and North America found themselves compelled to cover a story that, on paper, made no logical sense. Editors stared at screens filled with fan edits, translation threads, timeline breakdowns, theories layered upon theories. How could they justify dedicating airtime to a 30-second studio moment? Why was it suddenly a matter of international interest? What made this moment so irresistible that even serious outlets felt the need to join the chaos? The answer became clearer with every new headline. This wasn't just about Jungkook and Eun-woo. IT was about what they represented. IT was about the emotional infrastructure of modern fandom culture. Fragile, passionate, territorial, and deeply human. By mid-afternoon, analysts on live broadcasts were already asking the same haunting question. Did we just witness the future of fandom conflict? Because as the day unfolded, ARMY and Fantasia supporters were no longer simply arguing. They were dissecting, defending, and battling with a fervor that resembled something far beyond a simple misunderstanding. Some ARMY members insisted Jungkook looked too happy, too relaxed, or too soft, as if Eun-woo's presence unlocked a side of him they weren't prepared to share. Others argued that Eun-woo's quiet charm was being unfairly villainized because fans refused to accept that two attractive idols could simply be comfortable around each other. And then came the edits, clips slowed to 0.25x speed, capturing micro-expressions only visible when magnified 50 times. Freeze frames annotated with red circles, arrows, and captions theorizing that Jungkook leaned in 1 millimeter closer than usual, or that Eun-woo's smile lasted 2 seconds longer than needed. Emotional fan threads describing how Jungkook's laugh sounded like the one he only uses around people he trusts, which ignited yet another wave of interpretations that spiraled even further. ARMY versus Fantasia war. Did one cute Jungkook Eun-woo moment just split two of K-pop's biggest fandoms? Could a single sweet interaction, barely 30 seconds long, filmed under studio lighting, filled with shy smiles and playful gestures, truly be powerful enough to fracture two of the largest, loudest, and most influential fandoms in the world? Or is something deeper happening behind the scenes? Something no one wants to admit, yet everyone feels simmering under the surface? Tonight, as the K-pop universe holds its breath, one question keeps echoing across timelines, comment sections, and international media headlines. Was the adorable Jungkook Cha Eun-woo moment a harmless show of friendship, or the match that ignited a fandom war no one saw coming? Across Seoul, Los Angeles, Bangkok, Sao Paulo, and every corner of the digital planet, fans are refreshing notifications with a mix of awe, confusion, and fear. How did something so soft, so pure, so heart-melting become the catalyst for one of the most emotionally charged showdowns in K-pop history? And more importantly, how far will ARMY and Fantasia supporters go now that the narrative has slipped out of their hands and into the uncontrollable wildfire of viral culture? No one expected this. Not the studios, not the members, not the media, and certainly not the millions who clicked on the video thinking they were about to watch a wholesome moment between two globally adored icons, only to find themselves trapped in a spiraling storm of speculation, jealousy, pride, and protective loyalty that now threatens to reshape the fan idol dynamic as we know it. But to understand why this moment exploded the way it did, we must go back to the second it happened. Back to the smile, the laugh, the lingering glance that sent the internet into global meltdown. IT began innocently. almost too innocently, inside a cozy recording studio filled with warm lighting, soft neon glow, and a quiet hum of creativity. Jungkook of BTS, freshly returned, older, sharper, exuding the kind of star power that doesn't fade even after years away, was discussing vocal takes with producers. Across the room, Jungkook Eun-woo of ASDRO leaned casually against a console, dressed in a simple hoodie that somehow made him look like he stepped out of a drama scene. The atmosphere was comfortable, professional, friendly. Then it happened at a laugh. A glance. A playful nudge. A moment so natural, so unfiltered, so genuinely cute that fans instantly clipped it, slowed it down, zoomed in, color-corrected it, and uploaded it to every platform imaginable. Within minutes, hashtags began flooding feeds. Within hours, engagement numbers soared past the millions. And before dawn even broke over Seoul, the narrative had already spun out of control. How did the internet go from, they're adorable, to ARMY versus Fantasia, full digital war in less than 24 hours? Was it the way Jungkook smiled? Soft, bunny-like, effortlessly charming? Was it the way Eun-woo leaned closer, eyes sparkling with what fans interpreted as too much comfort, too much chemistry, too much unspoken closeness? Or was it simply the unexplainable alchemy of two of Korea's most beloved visuals sharing a frame, breaking the boundaries of their fandoms and creating a moment neither side was ready for? The comments, initially playful, turned sharp, then defensive, then emotional, then explosive. A faction of ARMY insisted Jungkook's natural warmth was being misinterpreted. Another faction argued Eun-woo's intentions were too ambiguous. Fantasia fans fired back, claiming their idol was being unfairly targeted for simply existing next to a global superstar. Neutral fans begged everyone to calm down. Others fueled the fire intentionally, hiding behind anonymous accounts and enjoying the chaos. And through it all, two questions kept resurfacing like haunting refrains. Why this moment? Why now? Was the world simply starved for new interactions after years of distance, hiatus, and anticipation? Did the relief of seeing Jungkook relaxed and happy make people overly sensitive to anything that threatened his image? Had Eun-woo's notoriously gentle aura unintentionally pressed emotional buttons ARMY didn't know they had? Or was it something else entirely? Something deeper, something psychological, something tied to the unspoken pressure that comes with loving idols who feel both impossibly close and painfully out of reach. What makes this moment so dangerously fascinating is not the clip itself, but what it symbolizes. Jungkook and Eun-woo are two of Korea's most adored men, both representing different kinds of charisma, different fandom cultures, and different emotional attachments fans project onto them. To see them together, comfortable, laughing, sharing private studio space, felt like a crossover event nobody expected, but everybody had strong feelings about. Some interpreted the moment as a hint of collaboration. Others shouted, "No way." Some hoped for a joint performance. Others panicked that it might shift public image dynamics. Some insisted it was nothing more than two friends hanging out. Others claimed the body language was too intimate for mere friendship. And with every new opinion came another wave of counterarguments, turning the conversation into a battlefield powered by emotion, loyalty, and unfiltered passion. The more the clip spread, the more intense the reactions became. And with every reaction came another layer of tension. Tension the media was quick to pick up on. Tonight, broadcasters are asking whether this fandom tension marks a new era of hyperreactive online culture. Analysts are debating whether K-pop stardom has evolved into something too fragile, too interconnected, too emotionally charged for casual moments to exist without sparking global chaos. Meanwhile, PR teams on both sides are scrambling behind closed doors, trying to predict whether this storm will pass or whether it will escalate into something that affects schedules, appearances, or even future collaborations. But the most unsettling part is this. The moment that caused all this wasn't scandalous. IT wasn't romantic. IT wasn't controversial. IT was cute. What does it say about fandom culture today when something cute becomes a battlefield? And what does it mean for Jungkook and Eun-woo? Two men who likely had no idea that their innocent moment would send millions into emotional conflict. The world is watching, breath held. both waiting for the next update, the next clip, the next clarification, the next spark that could either calm the flames or reignite them even stronger. But what if this is only the beginning? What if the real shock, the real twist, the real revelation is still coming? And what if the one moment that split two fandoms might be the same moment that unites them later in ways no one could have predicted? But how did a smile, just a smile, travel from being a harmless flicker of warmth to becoming the emotional epicenter of a global debate? Why are millions still glued to their screens, dissecting the angle of Eun-woo's gaze, the softness in Jungkook's laughter, the way both seemed unaware of how their natural chemistry would trigger a tectonic shift in fan culture?